Why does my face look weird? It looks crooked. This is kind of tripping me out. But that's besides the point. Welcome to trade recap of the week. Okay, I want to start doing these. Today is Monday, so I'm going to be going over all of the trades I took last week. Still, keep in mind, was super profitable last week, but I made some mistakes, which is worth kind of talking to you guys about. I want you guys to use this as kind of a guide of where and how you should be journaling and how you should be reviewing your journal and being able to improve the mistakes that you've done in the past week, because you will make mistakes and you have to make sure that you are actually capable enough to learn from those mistakes that next week. And the easiest way I personally handle those is just focus on that one thing for the entire week. And then if you come across another problem that next week, then you focus on that, right? And you just keep going on and on. So I'm going to stop yapping, but overall what this video is kind of showing you how you can actually build a trading discretion. I've seen no one on YouTube actually talk about this, so I'm going to go show you guys my journal from last week and show you exactly how I build discretion off of doing this, because I've been journaling, for over a year. Every single trade, wins and losses. So let's hop right into this and let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So let's do, first and foremost, I think Monday was the 9th. So what I like to journal is the date, what I was trading, my emotions, then what I saw. So price opened, manipulated 30-minute liquidity, tapped into the new week opening gap, 1 minute inverse fair value gap, stop loss at highs, and targeting liquidity, right? Then what my confluences are, what my take profit placement, what my stop loss placement is, was it a win or a loss? Instead of actually journaling the amount of money, I journaled the risk to reward. I know it says percentage, but it's the risk to reward. So this is a 1 to 1.2. It's a lot better to journal than actual monetary gain. So very, very good trade to start up the week last week, right? So very basic. All we really saw was price ranged higher at market open, and we tapped into a new week opening gap, also taking out a 30-minute draw on liquidity, right? So no true low resistance draws. So that was the only, I guess, sketchy part. The only reason why I'm saying it's sketchy is because what if we do end up inversing this, coming back up, taking out low resistance, tapping into the new week more than reacting? We didn't know that the 30-minute actually wanted to move lower from that. Even though it did, I still took action off of that 1 minute inverse. Boom, action right off that candle, taking it down to a next draw on liquidity, break even at the 1 minute lows, right? So overall, very, very good trade to start the week. Nothing really to complain about. I would say this is probably a B plus setup for what I usually take. So overall, really solid trade. Now Tuesday is when I think this is actually Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday is when we get a little bit sketchier, I may say. So obviously NQ, it's always going to be NQ. On Tuesday, I was way too jumpy. So keep in mind, Tuesday I ended up deciding that I was going to copy trade 5 accounts and full port those 5 accounts. Keep in mind, these are funded accounts. And also keep in mind, all of these were up in profit. None of them were down. They all needed $2,000 to blow. And you guys are going to see the huge mistake I make on this day that ends up putting me back so much on the week. I can't even believe that I recovered from this, to be completely honest. But let me show you guys. So overall, it was a delayed entry. Okay, so that's number one. It was delayed. I had emotions kicking in. Like, Elliot, you make so much money trading. Why the fuck are you using emotions when you're trading funded accounts? Like, that should be easy as shit. I don't know. Here I am. I feel like I care way more about the setups than I do the money. And I was super, super pissed after this day because of how bad of a setup it was that I took, in terms of jumping the gun, in terms of not going break even. This really should have been a break even trade. And it's sad that I took a loss because I didn't stick to my rules, and that's what pissed me off. I don't care about the 4 accounts I blew. It pisses me off more that I made a bad trade, and that's how you guys have to look at the shit. You have to be pissed or glad or happy based off of the trades you take. If it's a good trade and you lose, it is what it is. It happens. Pat yourself on the back for following your rules, okay? Get pissed, win or loss if it's a bad trade, period. So overall, delayed entry. Normal one would have hit. Entered late, went off of high time frame. Looking bearish. Then I thought we were going to dump more, was prepared to lose to my funded account, so I just took it delayed. It tapped break even, should have stuck to it, and it ended up going break even, taking me completely out. Was pissed. We have to keep moving due to me copy trading 5 accounts. My headspace just wasn't there. Did end up taking longs after on one account, and now I'm good for a max payout. So I just have to secure it, right? And as you guys know, I'm one trading day away from that max payout on Lucid. I requested a max payout last week on Apex. So that's besides the point. Obviously, loss, risk to reward was 1-1. Now here comes the embarrassing shit. So overall, I would say like my original entry, this is still like a B trade. And the reason why this is a B trade is because we have a lot of consolidation. We're kind of in all of these fair value gaps, right? So I would say this is really, really a B trade. But overall, I want to show you guys what I saw, right? So we come up here, we tap through here, we're respecting these fair value gaps. We end up having an inverse through here. We inverse that. I feel like it's more of an algorithm type of trade, but I could have taken this trade down into here with stop loss above here, and it literally would have been all I needed, would have hit. But I decided to be a pussy because I was super afraid of this 1 minute low, right? I didn't want us to react off of it. So I waited for actual reaction to show that we weren't going to react off this 1 minute low, enter off of that, going down to 30-minute draw on liquidity. Break even was this 30-minute draw on liquidity because we had another one sitting there. So we end up tapping break even. And instead of me going, okay, fuck it, I'm going to go break even, you know what I decided to do? I'm going to add fucking contracts here. I'm going to add on contracts. You know how stupid that is? I added more contracts, so now I was 2,000 risk on all 5 accounts within one trade. Bang! All blown. Except for one. I saw us ranging towards London highs. Took it on that. Like I said, basically secured max payout with that account. But just super dumb trade, and this is what happens when you let your guard down, you let your ego happen because you're on too good of a win streak, blah, blah, blah. Market doesn't give a fuck. Okay? What I did here, adding contracts instead of going break even and just securing another day to possibly, risk heavy if that's what I wanted to do on those 5 accounts, you know what I could have fucking done? I mean, you know what that's similar to? That's like going into ranked battle royale, no builds, and not carrying like any shields to help you in case you're in the middle of nowhere and someone's beaming you. You can't build, right? And so you bring a shield. That's like saying, fuck it, I'm dropping these shields and I'm just gonna go ball out, other than you're just gonna get beamed in the open, and instead of throwing a shield down, you just kind of sit there and just keep getting fucking beamed and don't do anything about it. That's similar to what I just did here. Just to put that in a little bit better terms for you guys, just so you guys know of how pissed off I was, because if this was this overall, like I said, this was like a B setup. So still good enough trade to take. It's just, what the fuck are you doing? Why aren't you going break even? Like, what are we doing, Elliot? Holy shit, you're only doing 5 accounts. Like, that's not that much money. Why are you freaking out about that? Like, you've made way more money on live accounts and you're sitting here emotionally trading 5 fundeds. Like, what the fuck are we doing? But I made up for it for the better half of the week. But let's go to the next day. Okay, next day NQ was still greedy. I mean, I don't even know what I was feeling these days, but you're about to figure out what the common occurrence this week was in terms of issues. So I'm not even going to read this out anymore. You guys already know I write paragraphs. So let's see this trade here. Overall, what do we have here that I didn't fucking do for a second day in a row? We have a break even, and I hate going break even really close to entry because it's like, well, what if we come down or come back up and wick and then go back? Who cares, bro? This is a point we can react off of. You got to go break even there, right? My ego is too high. We come down, we take break even. This is a perfect continuation. I mean, this is literally a B plus or A trade. I'm telling you, this is like an A setup for me because this is a perfect continuation. We're dropping, we come up, tap 1 minute, inverse 1 minute. Like, this is perfect breakout. But we decided to actually react off of this after we already entered the trade. So you got to go break even there because we can reject, right? We ended up actually reacting off of nothing. We manipulated fucking nothing. And then we delivered down to what my TP would have been, right? But that's besides the point. Go break even here. That's 2 times now this week. That's 2 for 2. That's 2 losses for 2. Not going fucking break even when you're supposed to. What are you doing? Right? And I kind of asked myself that question as I took this next loss, which, wait, was it? Hold on. Yeah, I think it was, which one did we just go over? Bro, I'm tripping. Okay, that was that one. Did we not go over this one yet? Okay, this one was just a bad trade. Bad trade, and I realized it and exited quick. I remember this trade now. So essentially what we see is we're coming up, tapping into a fair value gap. We have a 30-minute draw on liquidity resting right here, okay? We come down, tap into a 5-minute. I enter shorts, right? Because I see this inverse. Boom. Overall, really bad trade. I'm not going to lie. This is like a C trade. And I just kind of entered it. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I'm looking for us to flush down in this 30-minute, right? So whatever. That's just what I was looking at. We come back up, and I see that we're clearly like displacing back higher, and I'm like, okay, there's actually no way that we're actually going to keep flushing. So I just took out early. My stop loss was way up here. Ended up only losing $100 on this trade. So overall, it was a bad trade. So I kind of was able to understand and realize what I did wrong and reacted off of it, exiting early, so that I didn't take as big of a loss because I would have got smoked, right? So I only lost $100, barely even a loss. Honestly, if anything, I'm actually taking good out of this because I actually realized that I made the wrong decision and was able to execute and get out early. So actually proud of myself for that one. But then again, that was only a $100 loss. Keep that in mind. The other two, what happened on the other two losses? Well, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, go break even, right? Now, Thursday, Friday is when shit gets real. Because Wednesday, I was like, I got to figure out what I'm doing wrong because I'm getting cooked for some reason, right? I go back and I notice that I'm not going break even. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I got to change something right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right the fuck now. So moving on for the rest of the week, the minute I hit break even, boom, I'm going break even. Don't give a fuck, right? And that's exactly what I did. Secured 2 more wins. And this win right here on Thursday that I'm about to show you guys, this ended up securing me over $1,000 of profit on top of everything I lost so far in this specific week. So that trade on Friday only took me even fucking higher. But what would have happened if I just simply went break even when I was supposed to? I would have only lost $100 other than won, 3-4 trades last week? You know how much money I would be up? A fuck ton. But it's a shoulda, coulda, woulda type of thing. You have to be able to keep going. You can't sit here and bitch and cry and moan shoulda, coulda, woulda scenarios. No one gives a fuck. You have to keep moving forward, but you have to understand these mistakes, which is what overall gets you discretion in the markets, right? So obviously my break-even levels are very, very good, and it protects me from losing, right? So understanding that is giving me discretion to know my break-even levels are very good, and I should stick to them. Because if I don't and it reverses, then I could get cooked and I'm losing more profit than anything. Because not very often does my break even get hit, we reverse back to break even and then continue going down on TP. Like, it might be 30%, but I would rather take those odds, right? Rather than missing out and, you know, not doing it than getting cooked majority of the time, right? It's not worth it. Here, very good trade. Okay, so market's coming back up. We manipulated these lows. No entry for longs. Come up. Take out 5-minute for value gap. Clearly reacting. Look at all these wicks showing us we're failing to go higher. We have displacement. 1-minute inverse. Inversed it. Entered. Break even these lows. Take profit. 30-minute liquidity. As you could tell, just fucking delivered. Like I said, that was $1,000 in profit over everything I've lost this week. So this week here, this day here is just now putting me even higher in profit to end the week. Just absolutely beautiful. What we ended up doing, we came up, we came back down, manipulated a bunch of lows, 1-minute inverse. We took that shit up to low resistance liquidity. As you could tell, delivery again. Break even sitting here. The minute break even got hit, moved that shit to break even. Never got touched again. Ripped to take profit. So overall, I knew what my main losses were, guys. It's not like I'm just taking shitty trades. It's that I'm being too egotistical this week, right? I was being way too heavy of an ego, and I had to fix something. So I fixed it on Thursday, the day I realized, or I guess Wednesday, but Thursday was the first trade I actually took action on it and was able to fix it. And I fixed it and ended up taking 2 wins because of it. So you guys have to understand that, sometimes going through your journal is very important. Most times it's very important. You got to see what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right. Because if you're doing something very small wrong, that could be the difference between you making a 10K month and you making like $1,000 month, because you're making too much mistakes on repeats. So you have to understand what are your repeat offenses and fix those. Okay, and work on a week, right? So like this week, right, I only was able to fix it for Thursday, Friday. So this week, all I'm going to focus on is anytime I have a break-even level, I'm going break-even right when that gets touched. right? And that's the only thing I'm focusing on this week because it absolutely cooked a lot of my profits last week. So I know that coming into this week, I'm going to be very strict with that. So that's exactly how you can start to build discretion, is understanding what you're doing wrong. See what you saw, see what your emotions were, see what the pair was, see what the time was, see what your confluences were, where was your take profit, where was your stop loss, because all of those are very, very key and vital data points to understand what you're doing right and wrong. And if you guys are interested in watching me take these trades live every single day for absolute free, I do have a free Discord link in the bio. Thank you guys so much for all of the support, and I hope this genuinely helps you with building your discretion and data points to actually record to help you become just a better trader by reviewing the boring data. But it honestly is very, very vital and very, very important to become a better trader. So I hope you guys were able to learn something from this, and if so, I love you guys either way. I will talk to you guys next video.